To be honest, I think we are gonna finally have our first French UFC champion.
See, when I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic, he's very quick, he's agile, he's light on his feet. He could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling.
I think Tom Aspinall.
I'm taking Aspinall for sure.
Should be Tom. It should but we'll see.
The easy thing would be to, I guess, for you, try to take Ciryl to the ground and try to work from there. Is it obviously going to be the game plan, or are you going to try to strike with Ciryl?
I think if I hit anybody, I can knock anybody out. And I think that Ciryl is no exception, but obviously there are some weaknesses in his ground game that we've seen, but I'm sure he's improved. You know what I mean? This is an MMA fight, it can go anywhere, so I'm sure we'll both be ready for anything.
After a long wait, the heavyweight division is set for a blockbuster showdown as reigning champion Tom Aspinall prepares to defend his title against Ciryl Gane. With both fighters at the top of their game, this battle promises explosive action and a defining moment for the heavyweight division. Tom Aspinall shared his thoughts and finally locking in his fight with Ciryl Gane after multiple postponements, mentioning this will be the fourth time the matchup has been planned. With the event scheduled for October 25th in Abu Dhabi, he stated his aim is to stop Gane from claiming the title once and for all.
Finally, we're back after over a year hiatus. Ciryl finally signed on the dotted line. This is the fourth time we've been matched up together, and now we are matched up for the 25th of October, Abu Dhabi, me and Ciryl. The fourth attempt is here, and this is Cyryl's third title shot. We are going to try and get rid of Ciryl Gane from the title picture for good.
Benoit's son Danny shared his thoughts on Ciryl Gane's fight with Tom Aspinall, saying he believes France will finally have its first UFC champion. He added that he has spent more time this year training and talking with Gane than in previous years, which has strengthened his confidence in Gane's abilities.
How do you think he does against Tom?
To be honest, I think we are gonna finally have our first French UFC champion. I think Ciryl, I've been talking with him. I have been taking more time with him this year than the past years, talking and training and yeah.
Benoit's son Danny said he believes Ciryl Gane is ready and motivated by a strong desire to become champion. He noted that Gane has been working hard for a long time, staying focused and quiet over the past month while preparing. Son Danny described Gane as an exceptional athlete even among heavyweights, and expressed confidence that over 5 rounds, Gane will defeat Tom Aspinall. He added that the fight will be tactical and high level, but he firmly believes Gane has what it takes to win.
I think he's ready, and I think he has this fire inside him of wanting to become champion, working hard since a long time. He's not talking a lot this past month, but he has been doing a real good job, and he has been working hard, and I do believe he's an exceptional athlete even for the heavyweight division, and on 5 rounds I do believe he's gonna beat Tom Aspinall, and I cannot wait to see it, because of course it's gonna be tactical and very high level stuff, but I do believe Ciryl can do it, and he will.
Daniel Cormier also expressed excitement about the upcoming title clash between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, noting that fans have been anticipating this matchup for a long time. He highlighted that while betting odds favor Aspinall heavily at -325 compared to Gane's plus 265, he feels the contest will be much more evenly matched than the odds indicate.
We finally got Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Chael, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom -325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Ciryl Gane plus 265.
Curtis Blades believes Tom Aspinall holds the edge in grappling. He feels that whenever needed, Aspinall can take his opponent down and control him. Blades adds that this skill could be the deciding factor, and if the fight goes past the first round, he favors Aspinall to win.
I believe that Aspinall does have the advantage, though, in that the grappling department. I believe that whenever he wants to, he'll be able to put Ciryl on his back, and he may not have to, but I believe he can if he does have to, and I believe that'll be the difference if it gets out of the first round. I'll go with Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall showed confidence in his ability to keep up with Ciryl Gane's movement while maintaining an advantage in strength and grappling. He cited his history of knockouts as evidence of his fight-ending power, claiming a single precise strike could decide the match. He also noted that in his previous fight, he held back energy over 5 rounds yet still achieved a knockout, emphasizing the threat his striking poses.
I think I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well. The difference is I can grapple. I've got a lot of power, and I think that's pretty undeniable at this stage of my career. I've got a lot of knockouts on my record, mate. I have to touch you once, and I wasn't even throwing heavy tonight. I thought it was going to be a 5-rounder. I didn't mean to knock him out. I was pretty sure that that was going to be a 5-round fight tonight, and just takes one shot, mate, at heavyweight, especially with me throwing. On
the other hand, Henry Cejudo sees Tom Aspinall's bout with Ciryl Gane as a significant challenge, noting that Gane's size and agility will make it harder for Aspinall to control the fight, as he has with previous opponents. He described the matchup as a real test of Aspinall's abilities and suggested it could also hint at whether Jon Jones intends to return for the heavyweight title.
You're giving them the one contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people, and I think that'll be a big indication if Jon Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
Kamaru Usman remarked that Ciryl Gane is often underrated, highlighting his well-rounded skills, fluid movement, and sharp striking. At the same time, he commended Tom Aspinall's quickness, precise boxing, and knockout ability, making it difficult to bet against him. Usman described their fight as a genuine clash between top-tier fighters.
Ciryl Gane is... People forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
Elijah Smith picks Tom Aspinall, highlighting his wrestling, grappling, and unusual speed for a heavyweight. He praises Aspinall's footwork, power, and overall movement, saying he doesn't see anyone in the division who currently poses a real challenge for him, though he admits he could be proven wrong.
I got Tom. Yeah, I got it. I just think the wrestling and the grappling and the speed of Tom Aspinall, he's a heavyweight, but he doesn't move like a natural heavyweight. Like, he has really good footwork, really fast. Obviously, he's strong and powerful. Yeah, I think Tom Aspinall right now, I just don't see any, somebody might surprise me, but right now I just don't see anybody that would really be a good matchup for Tom Aspinall that would give him a challenge, as of right now. I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it right now.
Michael Bisping reacted to the fight announcement, praising Tom Aspinall for his dominant wins over top heavyweights while cautioning that Ciryl Gane offers a unique challenge. He likened both fighters to Georges St. Pierre because of their athleticism and quickness, but noted that Gane's weaknesses in grappling led to his loss against Jon Jones and could play a role against Aspinall as well.
Now, when you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings, as I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Ciryl Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, Jon Jones beat Ciryl Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Ciryl Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight Georges St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic. He's very quick. He's agile. He's light on his feet. He could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like Georges St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against John Jones, and that's probably what's going to cost him against Tom Aspinall.
Michael Bisping described the fight as high risk, typical of heavyweight MMA, but said Tom Aspinall likely has the upper hand in grappling. He noted that Aspinall has practiced jiu-jitsu since he was 15 and expects his father will encourage him to use it. Bisping also reminded fans that Ciryl Gane has made even Francis Ngannou grapple, showing a striking threat, though he still thinks Aspinall has the edge to win.
You never know, he could clip him. This is a dangerous fight, this is heavyweight MMA, but Tom Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down, show him what you can do, show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Ciryl Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting John Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait, John Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter. If he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane as fast as what John did, guaranteed we're going to get some tweets.
Eric Anders also favors Tom Aspinall, noting his versatility and knockout power. He believes Aspinall matches or even surpasses Ciryl Gane's speed, particularly in hand speed and boxing, and also points out Aspinall's submission skills as another path to victory.
Tom Aspinall, I think he's just got more ways to win, hits a lot harder, and just, I think Gane's advantage over everybody was his speed, and I think Tom Aspinall is just as fast, if not faster, especially with the hands and the boxing and stuff, and he's got submission wins too, so I'm going with Tom Aspinall.
Julius Walker views the matchup as difficult for Ciryl Gane, highlighting Tom Aspinall's well-rounded skill set. He notes that Aspinall can match Gane's speed and athleticism while holding a significant grappling advantage, predicting a potential submission victory for Aspinall if the fight happens.
I think that's a really tough fight for Gane. Aspinall is just very, very well-rounded. You can kind of match him with that speed and athleticism that Gane usually enjoys over most heavyweights. And then Aspinall, I think, has a huge grappling edge there. So if that fight does come to fruition, I'm going to go with Aspinall by submission.
MMA Guru expressed enthusiasm over the fight announcement, predicting that Tom Aspinall could finish Ciryl Gane with a first-round knockout. He noted that since Tai Tuivasa managed to knock Gane down despite being outmatched, a quicker and more precise fighter like Aspinall would likely do it even faster.
But Aspinall versus Gane, scary matchup. I think Aspinall's going to win by KO in the first round. If Tai Tuivasa can ever drop you on your ass in an MMA fight after you've beaten him up for the whole first round, if he can find a way to find your chin in that second round and drop you at any point in your career, I think Aspinall will find it in the first round, and I do think we'll see a first round Tom Aspinall KO.
MMA Guru warned that a victory for Ciryl Gane could surprise fans, particularly longtime John Jones followers who might quickly start supporting him. He favored Tom Aspinall to win, explaining that although Gane is tricky standing up, his grappling weaknesses make him vulnerable against a fighter like Aspinall.
If Ciryl Gane wins, my life will crumble before my very eyes. You understand this, right? We can't have Ciryl Gane win. There's gonna be a conglomerate of MMA fans that are suspiciously pro-Gane here for no reason whatsoever. Okay? Now, these may be considered former John Jones fans that now have nowhere to go because Jones retired, that will now pretend to be Ciryl Gane fans and pretend to want Ciryl Gane to win for the good of the sport. I just think he's way better. Tom Aspinall's the correct prediction. It is a very risky matchup. Ciryl Gane is very, very technical. Ciryl Gane is harder to hit than any former opponent of Tom Aspinall. I just think his grappling is a weakness, and he'll be thinking about that in a fight with Tom. And while you're thinking about that, you've also got to think about being knocked out with any punch you get hit with.
Senior MMA reporter Ariel Helwani spoke about Tom Aspinall's upcoming title defense against Ciryl Gane, highlighting that fans had anticipated this matchup for years. He explained that Aspinall requested the fight be held in Abu Dhabi due to tax benefits and its proximity to home, a request the UFC approved.
Aspinall, Tommy, defending his undisputed gold, technically for the very first time, against the pride of France, the French prince himself, Bon Gamin himself, the one and only Ciryl Gane. These two have been going back and forth for the better part of 2, maybe 3 years, well, this was the fight that we all thought was going to happen in Tom's official first title defense, and so it is in fact going to happen. Tom wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. That was the sense that we got when he became undisputed champion. He didn't want to wait for New York. Let's be honest, the tax is a little better over there in Abu Dhabi compared to New York for an Englishman, for anyone, if we're being 100% honest. And so he wanted to be active. He wanted to fight in October. He wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi. It's closer to home, and so they obliged.
Meanwhile, Ciryl Gane described the Aspinall versus Gane fight as an important moment for the heavyweight division. He explained that although he typically favored the biggest fights, strategic matchups can sometimes benefit the sport's long-term growth. Gane added that according to Gane, the fight had been scheduled and cancelled 4 times before, making this the ideal time for it to happen for both the rankings and the division's future.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. Now, you got to understand where we're at. And I'm a checkers player. When it comes to matchmaking, that is a unique skill and vision. But I will always go with low-hanging fruit. It's just the way my mind works. I take the biggest fight for right now. But sometimes you're playing chess. And I admire the guys that can do that. I admire the guys that can stand back, look at the board, not think about what's right now, think about what could be. Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall. According to Ciryl Gane, he just did an interview, they tried to make this fight 4 times. And for rankings and for the integrity of our rankings, I get it.
Ciryl Gane emphasized Ciryl Gane's impressive kickboxing background, estimating his record at roughly 27-3, though he occasionally cited 29-2. He noted that Gane's striking experience made him a threat into anyone in the heavyweight division. In comparison, Sonnen said Tom Aspinall has achieved much of his success by keeping fights upright and finishing opponents with knockout power. He explained that since both fighters favor striking but bring different levels of experience, their clash presented a unique stylistic matchup that has captured significant attention.
And it's a hard matchup. By the way, Ciryl is a very decorated kickboxer. Off the top of my head, I believe he was 27-3 in professional kickboxing. 27-3. I get he and Adesanya's record confused one time. One of them was 29-2 and the other one was 27-3. I'm sharing for you when you're Tom Aspinall and you beat 6 men all the same way, which is stand up and by knockout. It's a matchup-wise, it's an interesting match.
Matt Brown also observed that both fighters would enter the bout under significant pressure, but felt Tom Aspinall carried more due to the heavyweight division's current landscape and what was at stake for his legacy. He explained that a victory for Ciryl Gane might harm the division's credibility, whereas Aspinall had the opportunity to establish himself as its leading figure. Brown also noted that even a narrow win or small misstep from Aspinall can influence perceptions of the division and his standing within it.
It's almost an unfair comparison, right? When we talk about pressure versus pressure, everybody's under tremendous pressure. But I guess when you kind of look at it from not just pressure, but potential legacy and career and what's on the line, I think it's hard to not go with Tom Aspinall because the heavyweight division is on the line. If Gane goes in and beats him, no disrespect to Gane, love the guy, the heavyweight division loses a lot of respect. Even if Tom goes out there and it's a close fight or he gets dropped and then has to come back or something, like, the heavyweight division has so little respect right now, probably deservedly so, I think. You know, with Gane getting his 3rd title shot in a couple years, like, Tom has to show that he is the heavyweight division. You know, he has to prove that to the world. Like, I am, you know, the heavyweight division's not just, but like, I'm so good that the heavyweight division is right. This is kind of his thing that he has to go out there and prove to the world.
Matt Brown added that the fight's outcome could impact future matchups, including a potential showdown between Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones. He noted that Jones would likely study any weaknesses or errors from Aspinall, which could determine the next steps in the division. Brown emphasized that with the heavyweight division striving for recognition, this fight represented a critical moment in Aspinall's career.
If he goes out there and loses to Gane, the division already is not respected. That brings Tom down significantly, I think, right? And of course, the potential Jon Jones fight, which is whatever, who knows, right? Like how he beats Gane, assuming he does, may play a factor too. Like if it turns out to be a close fight, again, John's gonna be on his phone with Twitter open watching this fight, like just waiting for Tom and get dropped, get leg kicked and limping a little bit, or you know what I mean? John can't wait for that moment.
And that's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the matchup? Share your thoughts in the comments section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.